Coming out first, going to be fighting out of the red corner, standing 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 182.5 pounds, making his amateur MMA debut for Fight City. Let's hear it for Alejandro Gonzalez.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, making his way out to the cage right now, we have Alejandro Gonzalez. This young man is 24 years old, standing 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 182.5 pounds. He has a perfect amateur record of 0-0-0, so what do we know?
One of those O's has got to go.
All right, he is training out of Fight City. What do we know about Fight City?
Well, again, they are a staple here. They are, the 4 fights on this card.
Yep. They've got this one, they've got the next one, and then they had 2 earlier. So.
And like we said earlier, they stay very active. So they get busy, they get out here, they get fights. We've had a bunch of their up-and-comers this time. They're new guys that are kind of breaking their cherry, shall we say, in this Steelfist cage.
Yeah, they're getting rid of that. They're getting that experience, right? They're getting their toes wet for the first time.
Yes.
So this is good. They've been putting on a really good show. It's been definitely impressive seeing what they're doing tonight. And let's see if Alejandro is able to kind of keep up that pace with what we've seen some of the other guys do earlier in this fight, or in this fight night.
Yeah, I mean, Fight Cities look good. I mean, everybody that they've brought to the table, even if they were brand new, looked like they had some experience. So I wouldn't expect anything different here.
All right, and his opponent tonight going to be fighting out of the black corner, standing 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 181 pounds with a current amateur record of 1-1. Doing it for Powerhouse MMA, let's hear it for Luke Blanch.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have Luke Blanch walking out right now. He stands 5 foot 11 inches tall. He weighed in at 181 pounds. He is 32 years old, and he has a record of 1-1 fighting out of Powerhouse MMA. What do we know about those guys? I don't know anything.
You know, I don't have a whole lot to tell you about with Powerhouse MMA. I didn't really talk to him backstage, so I didn't get a whole lot of information. I do know that he has fought for us a couple times. He's coming in off of a loss against Tristan Whitkey back in August of 24, and then he had a win in his first fight against Bodie Monson in March of 2024. So he's been out for almost probably about 9 months, kind of making his return, hopefully doing the right things to make this happen and to get his hand raised. Yeah, he definitely looks fit.
Yeah, he definitely looks in shape.
Yeah, like he's been putting in the work.
I definitely would agree that he's probably been putting in the work. Let's see these two guys go at it.
Absolutely.
Again, Tyler's kind of having those last-minute conversations with him. Cup check. As our Bud girls kind of get those cards down. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Both of them coming, feeling themselves out, or feeling each other out.
Not doing anything crazy to start.
No.
Step in.
Exchange some jabs.
Leg kick from
Luke. Yeah. Again, testing that distance, testing the distance.
Nice pacing.
Alejandro's trying to move his way in a little bit.
Ooh. Like that low right cross that he kind of threw there.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice head kick attempt by Luke. Ooh, big leg kick by Blanch. Good job jabbing in.
Yeah. Jabbing in, throwing the 2 down the center.
Yeah. I like it when you see guys kind of lead in instead of just throwing from the back.
Yes.
Throwing that right cross and, big left hook. But no, jab in.
Yeah, jab
create your
way
openings.
In.
Yeah.
Find that distance.
Yes. And establish it.
Yes.
And force it against your opponent.
you'll land way more shots then.
He's doing a good job. He keeps clawing that out there.
And there we go. Luke shoots for the takedown.
Good double leg by Blanch. Good crossbody. Got good side control.
Yep. He's going to control. Let's see if he can go from out.
Knee across. There you go. Watch for the ground and pound.
All right, let's see how Alejandro handles this.
Yeah, some nice shots by Luke. See, Alejandro kind of securing the head, pulling him down, making it a little difficult to throw punches and trying for that escape.
Yep, almost had it.
Yeah, just have to block that foot a little bit more.
Yep.
Roll that shoulder. There you go. Now strike. There you go. Roll that right arm. Straight.
Luke's listening to his corner.
Yep, they're
trying
telling
to get
him
some instruction.
Telling him to slip that right arm and then
Yep.
strike. And there you go, some big punches that he's trying to land, but Alejandro's doing a good job keeping his arms in the way so that nothing's connecting too effectively.
Yeah. Alejandro's doing a good job trying to get out of this position. He's not necessarily getting out, but Luke isn't able to land any heavy blows right now.
Nothing too effective.
Until he did that.
Now he's landing some good shots. Still landing a couple on the arm, glancing, but he's landing very effectively right now. And
10 seconds.
with it only being 10 seconds, I'm curious if Tyler's going to step
He's
in.
standing there. He might.
Ooh.
He
Getting
might.
close. I think this is going. Yeah, we got to round number 2.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Saved by the bell.
Yes.
Tyler was looking very intently.
Yes.
All right. Now, Ryan?
Yes.
So, leading up to that takedown, it was kind of slower paced, right?
Yeah.
It was not really objectively one person winning over the other. No one was being more effective or enforcing their game plan more than the other. But as soon as Luke shot for that takedown and secured crossbody, you could see him just working every step of the way very effectively.
That was the most dominating part of the round.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. No, in that last 10 seconds was really impressive.
Yes.
So, yeah, Luke obviously won that first round.
Yes.
That's not a
100%.
question. Yeah, that's not a question out there. But how effectively do you think he won that first round? Do you think that was a 10-9 or 10-8?
10-9.
I agree.
Yep, 10-9.
There was enough control. If he would have been constantly throwing that ground and pound unanswered to where it was just a completely lopsided match for the majority of that round, that would have been one thing. But I think that he definitely secured it as a 10-9.
Yeah, agreed. Well, let's see if Alejandro can come out, change a few things, not have been up on the bottom. Because remember, he was jabbing his way in and throwing that too.
Yeah. Well, and he definitely looks like he's not gassed. One of the plus sides of being on the bottom is you don't waste as much energy as trying to control someone when you're on top of them and throwing all those strikes.
Ooh, almost hit the cup.
It did hit the cup.
Did? Yeah, I was going to say.
So
I was headed right towards it.
So people at home, I know sometimes you're like, oh, did that really hurt? He's got a cup on. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
Sometimes you really don't even notice it, and that kind of seemed like what happened with Alejandro. He took that one, and it was just like, we're good.
The cup did its job.
Yeah, and then there's other times that all the cup does is make it hurt worse.
Yeah.
So, you just take the fight, take the rest.
Yes.
and then come back a little bit more energized.
Yep. All right, let's get it going.
Nice sportsmanship there.
Yes.
Again, I love. Ooh.
Good
Good job, Luke. Good timing going under that hook.
Yep. And now he's getting into it.
Driving through, got the knee over.
Position again.
Good job securing mount. Now, see if he goes for the ground and pound again.
I think so. I think he's going to try to land some blows, get back to where he ended the first round.
Right. I'd like to see him try and. Ooh. Good job, Alejandro. Pulled him down again.
Yeah.
If I'm in Luke's corner, I'm telling him to turn the head against the cage.
Yes.
And get his head against the cage, so you're a little bit more north-south with it. Instead of the side of your opponent's body against the cage, you want their head against the cage to make it uncomfortable and harder for them to use the cage to push off.
Yes. Gets them their legs further
There's
away
it.
from
There's the tap.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's over.
Was that a Von Flue choke?
I don't know.
The angle we're at, all I could see.
Yeah.
All I could see was Luke Blanch
sort of choke.
shoulder blade. Like, I couldn't see anything. So I'm kind of excited to watch that on a replay and see how that actually ended. Let's take it to the cage and make this thing official.
Sounds good to me.
All right, if I can get both fighters to the center of the cage, please. Both fighters to the center of the cage. Do me a favor, gang. Make some noise for these two. Your winner, 1 minute, 21 seconds in a round number 2. Tap out due to Ezekiel choke. Out of the black corner, Luke Blanch.
All right, Luke, I'm here with your winner, Luke Blanch. Dude, that was phenomenal. I couldn't see the choke from my angle. How did you finish that one?
I just got underneath his head, grabbed my elbow, and just forced it down as well as I could.
Pushed on that Ezekiel choke. Beautiful job, man. That was a dominant performance. How are you feeling right now?
Great.
Great. Ready for another one?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Is there anyone you want to thank tonight?
My coach, Sean Powers, all my family and friends who are here supporting and watching at home. Thank you. I appreciate it.
And you're going to come back and do this for us again?
Hell yeah, baby.
All right, man. Congratulations. We can't wait to see you come back. Everyone give it up for your winner, Luke Blanch!
Luke taking his record to 2-1 for Powerhouse MMA. One more picture, boss, and you get to clock out for the night. Nothing but smiles in the cage tonight. Before we take a break, I'm going to tell you a funny little story. Sometimes computers don't get it right, and as scared as we are of AI, human beings come to the rescue sometimes. So we had one of those situations happen earlier, and we want to make it right. So at this time, if I could get Frank Clemente to come into the cage, please. Where's Filthy Frank at?